You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for thousands of miles in the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me of your despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sunshine and the clear pebbles of rain are moving across the landscapes. Meanwhile, moving across the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the streams. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clear blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. There was a great motivational teacher named Jim Rohn who said that your sales of life, where you go, your direction, is determined by your philosophy on life. So if you're a goose, you're forced to travel south in the winter. And it doesn't matter whether or not winter seems like a good time to travel south because it's cold and you'd rather stay north. If you're a goose, that's your philosophy, it's your instinct, it's in your head, it's in your mind. So you travel south during the winter. But as human beings, as Sartre would say, we're condemned to be free. And what this means is that we have the radical responsibility of setting and determining our own sails in life, where we can head left or we could head right. We could head towards south during the winter, or we can head north or east or west or whatever direction we want to go. And I started this video off saying having a bad day or having an off day because we have a choice in those moments in order to fully embrace where we are, or to deny it, to push against it. And last night I was on the phone with a friend of mine named John Ma until about like 3, 4 a.m. We just kept talking and talking. It was almost like two babies talking about nothing for, 3 hours because it just felt really good. And I thought to myself as it was happening, I was like, you know what, I'm going to wake up tomorrow feeling so tired. And I just kept talking, I kept doing it. And I could think to myself today, oh, why did I do that? My whole day has been ruined now because of it, and I don't feel as much energy. And I could, by the way, totally change my state right now, but one of my friends, Gabe, said, well, try not to smile so much in a video and see what that's like. So this is another experiment because I'm really good at changing my state. I know the mechanics of state. And I think that most people, their state happens to them. Emotions happen to them. So I wake up and I feel just like so tired and my brain's not working. And I drink cold brew coffee and it still doesn't work. And the question then becomes, what do I do? Do I argue with reality and get pain because I want to be somewhere other than where I'm at? Or do I follow the Sartre existential model of, existence before essence, and I recreate myself and my philosophy to be more aligned with the vision of who I want to become? Or do I behave like the wild goose? Do I behave like the goose who travels south during the winter because that's just what it does? And I'll finish this with a thought. And the thought is that during one of the most critical moments of suicidal depression in my life, I was reading a lot of existential philosophy. I was reading a lot of you can do it. I was reading a lot of radical responsibility. And that line that Sartre uses, you are condemned to be free, is just so utterly true. Because the more we recognize our freedom and our power, the more it actually becomes a burden rather than an opportunity. And when it becomes a burden, what we lose sight of is our authenticity. What we lose sight of is the part within us, the heart, which wants to travel south during winter, no matter what's going on. Whereas the head can lead us in a million different directions. Now, sometimes that's beneficial, but sometimes all it does is create more pain. All it does is create more suffering. So there are more, by the way, I'm so tempted to share some more poems on this subject. There was one poem which, when I read it during the worst phase of suicidal depression for me, I was literally in the courtyard of USC where they have all of these different trees. And I read this one line in a Rilke poem, and it just I just woke up. It just was one of those like, oh my God, the lights are on moments. And yeah, it was very profound. But I'll share that at a different time. The Wild Geese poem that I started this off with by Mary Oliver is very potent and along the same idea. So yeah, much love, many blessings. And if you're having an off day, don't fight it. Ride with it, go with it, and see what will happen. For example, I didn't exercise yet today, and normally in the past I would think to myself, how dare I, I'm breaking integrity. But I know that, hey, if I don't end up doing it today because my body's tired, then I'll do it Monday. I'll do it as soon as the week starts again. And now Ross Everett just joined. Rossi baby! Oh, no, now I'll just change my state. Ross! Hey! Rossi! Can you hear me? Okay. Maybe you can't hear me. But by the way, that's Ross Everett, and Ross Everett is absolutely amazing. Oh, hey, Ross! He's absolutely amazing. He's one of the most brilliant comedians I've ever met, and he's doing this transformational comedy stuff. So if you're into life coaches or transformation work or Landmark or Tony Robbins or whatever else that you could potentially be inspired by, he is now redefining what that is and making it really fun and accessible. So yeah, I love you too, Ross. Awesome. All right, cool. So much love, many blessings. Have a beautiful day today. And whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calling you, announcing your place over and over in the family of things, announcing your place over and over in the family of things.